Hit the start streaming. It'll take a minute for it to propagate through the entire system here.
Yeah.
Check my live dashboard, make sure that's up and working.
Yeah, I'm glad you're going to be here a little bit longer. That's good.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. According to this, it is receiving the new signal. And get my little thing going here. Come on, refresh the page. Of course, I start streaming the internet like going slow all of a sudden. So
yeah,
that's to be expected.
I was kind of surprised. My internet was doing pretty good today. I was kind of surprised.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we got people tuning in the chat already. Let me make sure chat's actually working. Yep, chat's working. It hasn't fallen apart like it did this morning. Holy cow, that was annoying.
Really?
Yeah, it froze up.
Is this on YouTube or is this just on the?
Oh, this is on YouTube, Twitch, and on Periscope. All 3 platforms.
Oh, cool. Yep. Hello, everybody.
Yep. Hey, everyone. I'm on the phone with News Now Alaska here, and he had quite the interesting experience earlier today. I noticed. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch the entire video, but News Now Alaska, go ahead and fill us all in on what happened with you.
Well, for those that have been following, I've been dealing with the Wasilla Post Office postmaster Brian Young, and I've been dealing with Lisa at the Trooper Post at Meadow Lakes. And I'm trying to file a complaint. They didn't have any complaint forms in the lobby, and it kind of frustrated me and a lot of my viewers, obviously, because they called, the viewers and subscribers called, and they must have done something because they put a whole bunch of complaint forms out front. So that just goes to show you that call floods, they really work, because that right there proves that call floods work, you know. So that's pretty much what happened.
So you went in there, and they now have a bunch of complaint forms actually in the front of the office.
Oh yeah. They had several. They had one on the wall, and they had a whole stack of them on the counter right next to the window.
Oh, that is good to know.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I'm like, wow, they actually got him in there. So yeah.
Well, that's excellent. And of course, Chrome's tab for my live monitoring just crashed. Go figure. Yeah, that's interesting. Let me switch this out of studio mode then. BB, move the mic a bit away from your mouth. Let me guess, is it coming up too loud? Let me fix the audio settings on that. I do apologize.
I like your hat.
Oh, yes.
That's cool.
I got this several years ago at an anime convention, so I figured I'd go ahead and have some fun wearing it. So since everybody's been wearing the beanies and copying me on the beanie part for the winter,
yeah,
I figure I needed to mix it up here. And of course, also the mic's right next to my nose. That probably didn't help either. So unfortunately, I can't wear the headphones and the hat at the same time. I tried messing around with it. It just doesn't work. Not with this setup.
That's a pretty nice headset.
Oh yeah, it's what was it? It's one of those Corsair wireless headsets. It's actually got really good audio, as you can tell from just listening to it. If you mix it with a system called Voicemeeter, allows you to make some adjustments with it. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but according to this, let's see. It's okay. The volume is okay. Good. I heard that you said you ended up getting pulled over right after you left the post office there?
Yeah, I did. That's the kicker. So the trooper that was at the post office annex that originally criminally trespassing off the property, Pete Steen, his supervisor is the one I was trying to get a hold of at the Pittman location down here at Meadow Lakes. And so I went in there today, and I was asking for him. He wasn't there. So I went to leave, got everything taken care of, and I got pretty close to my car, and I noticed a black undercover vehicle and another marked trooper unit following me. So I pulled out my camera, and I stood there, and I took some pictures at the Tesoro, waiting for him to leave me alone or whatever. And I thought they were gone, so I went to get in my car, and I sat down, I closed my door, and then the next thing I know, I see that black undercover behind me. So I figured out what the hell. So I took off down the road, flipped his lights on, pulled me into a driveway. I hopped out of the car immediately, grabbed my phone, went live. And it just so happened that that was the supervisor that I'd been trying to get a hold of for the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Really?
Crazy,
so
crazy.
That was the
Yeah,
supervisor. Wow.
Yeah, the guy that I've been trying to get hold of for the past 2 or 3 weeks. The guy that I wanted to talk to about the complaints, you know. He was hesitant to give me his name. He didn't want to give me his name at first because I asked him why he pulled me over. And it was my fault. I didn't have a front license plate. But to be in all fair, there's no way he could have seen the front of my car the way I got the whole thing on video, body camera, and dash cam, and everything. But anyways, yeah, it was funny because he didn't want to give me his name or his employee ID number, until I asked 3 times for it. Then he finally gave it to me. And I was like, oh, I've been trying to get a hold of you for a couple of weeks now, And he was going on about my license plate. I'm like, yeah, it's a license plate. What about you guys? I was trying to talk to him about their policy on criminally trespassing people on public property without a crime, criminally trespassing without a crime. And he's like, well, as long as they do a call or whatever, he gave me a little bit of attitude. And then he goes to get in his car, and I was like, well, aren't you supposed to uphold the Constitution? And he closed his door, and I'm like, oh, you don't want to hear nothing about the Constitution, okay? That's when he pulled off. So.
Yeah. Well, my question is, I mean, how the hell did he see? I mean, when did he see the no license plate, and then why did you wait for that long to issue the ticket? So.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And the funny thing is, he didn't even give me a ticket. I'm going to give you a warning.
Oh, he only gave you a warning. Okay. Well, he probably realized at that point he sort of screwed up.
Yeah. He just wanted my information, and that's why I got out of the car like I did. And I turned my phone on, went live streaming. He told me to get back in the car, and I kind of ignored him for a second and grabbed my wallet because I wanted it to be on recorded. When I said anything. Yeah. To him, I wanted to, So I waited. I didn't really say anything to him. I was grabbing my wallet, waiting for the live stream to kick on. And then when the live stream kicked on, that's when the video popped up. But he was trying to get me, get back in your car. I got body camera footage of the whole thing. So
yeah, well, you got to be careful with hopping out of the car and all that stuff, because some police will react very negatively to that. But thank goodness, at least most state troopers, they're not too trigger happy from at least what I've been seeing.
Yeah, thank God. At least not lately.
As Mad Cat stated, these dispatchers need to be held account bullshit calls with camera. Apparently they typed it so fast they didn't really check their spelling or grammar, but hey, I understand this is live stream chatting, so.
Yeah.
And yes, hey Mad Cat, I see you. Yeah, we're sitting here shooting the shit and all that stuff. Maybe you might want to, maybe after I get done on the phone with News Now Alaska, maybe I'll just give you a call if you're still awake or something like that, if we're still live streaming. So, because unfortunately I don't think I can do teleconferencing with Google Hangouts, which is what I'm using to talk to you with now News Now Alaska, which allows me to call through the phone and all that stuff. Makes it easy when it comes those people are not too technical savvy and all that stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah, like me.
Hey, as is, I am probably one of the most technical savvy of the people that are out there doing police and government accountability right now. I have a really high unparalleled knowledge in these aspects just because of my background in tech and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
PNP News states, this looked like we would have like to fuck News Now Alaska up. Probably. Some of the state troopers do get a stick up their ass, that is for sure. I have seen it in the past.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, in fact, actually, I'm trying to remember. I think it was 2009. There is a video that was published on YouTube. I don't know if it's still up, where a state
About the
trooper
girl?
actually got upset and grabbed at a guy's cell phone, and they pulled him over there by the Parks Highway and Trunk Road. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that location.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to find it again because it's really old, and I don't even know if it's still up.
Yeah, I might have to look that up.
It'd be
Interesting.
hilarious if that was the same officer. Real Jingy, hey, Bunny Boots, good to see you. It's good to see you too, man. Yeah.
Yeah, every time I think of the troopers, I think of a video they have on their Alaska State Troopers show about the guy. It was a guy that was walking through the woods in an open field, and they got a call about some guy with a rifle. So a bunch of troopers show up in a field, and they're got these assault rifles on this guy or whatever, and they walk up to him. He's got a big old tripod and a camera. Every time I think of the troopers, I think of that. It's just hilarious.
I've barely seen that show. I've seen snippets here and there. I'm one of those like cable cutter people where it's like I don't pay for the satellite. I just use internet and like Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's quite hilarious hearing about that. So let's see here. What was it? You also did a video with the sunset or whatever. Was that like on Solstice? As I said, I haven't really been keeping up with everybody's videos
That
publishing.
was I took that not yesterday, the day before that, or was it yesterday? It was very recent. I saw it and I was like, holy crap! I gotta get the drone out. You know.
Oh yeah, and there's plenty of good spots around the Matsu Borough to get some really good sunset and sunrise drone footage, especially during this time of the year when the sun's starting to come back up. Because if you can get just the right spots with the mountains around the valley area, you get
Yeah.
some really nice colors and all that stuff, and really good panoramic views.
Yeah. What's going on with your drone?
I need to replace the battery, and how should I put it? That's looking to be about $80
Oh damn.
to throw down on a new battery, and hopefully that will fix the problem with it, because I'm pretty sure it's the battery. But if that doesn't fix it, I may be out where I'm gonna need to buy a new drone, in which case I may have to do like some sort of fundraising thing specifically for that, where I maybe do several case law reading marathons or something like that, just to
Yeah, they're not cheap.
yeah, well, especially the ones I'm looking at, because I'll probably swap over to the what is it, the GoPro drone they have, because it comes
Oh yeah, I've
bundled
seen
with
that.
the new GoPro, and a what is it, the gimbal stick, and that's
Yeah,
all a nice reasonable set
yeah,
right there, huh?
the hand stick. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Hey, News Now Tennessee, I see you too. We got quite a few people popping in and all that stuff. Yeah, and holy cow, hopefully, let me double check real fast on what's this current status, because my case law video that I did this morning is demonetized, and it may take a while for the demonetization bot to come back through and either remonetize it or give me a shoot back on that, but it doesn't look like it's done that yet.
Did they tell you why they demonetized it?
Oh no. It just automatically hits it. For some reason, case law is a big stickler
Really?
for with the system. I don't know why. Even there's a copyright lawyer who actually switched his live streaming, because he used to do live streams on Sundays on YouTube, but he swapped that over to Twitch because he got partnered with them, and they got an exclusive contract system going. And to make up for the shortfall of that, he just archives the footage on YouTube after he's done streaming.
Huh.
But yeah,
I think
and
I've
so,
seen him.
huh?
I think I've seen that guy.
Leonard French.
Yeah, yeah. He's actually got some pretty good videos out there.
Oh yeah, he actually just did he just put out one not too long ago, earlier today, about what was it? There was a copyright potential case between a person who did this commercial, this idea for a commercial advertisement with the Xbox and a game called Player Unknown Battlefield Battlegrounds or something like that. It's known as PUBG on the short
Hmm.
term. and it was for the Xbox. It was a little advertisement, and someone at the Xbox marketing team took that same concept, redid it with original stuff, gimmicks, and used the exact same concept for an actual official tweet they put out 2 days ago. And now there's a huge blow up in the gaming community about that. Oh, PNP just has, this is a good comment. The Batosai got a new drone. You might check with him. I think it was under $100. I'm not sure if it would fit. The thing is with the drones, the camera capabilities and flying capabilities, if you're wanting quality, you're gonna throw down about $1,000, anywhere between $500 to $1,000, depending on the camera setup and the drone setup itself, and how long you're gonna.
You don't want to go get a cheap drone. I've got the DJI Phantom 3 Advanced. You don't want to go get a cheap drone. You're gonna. The thing about the DJIs is it's got the return to home feature. It's linked. It's registered with the FAA, so you can't fly in certain areas. It gives you warnings, all kinds of stuff. You don't want to get a cheap drone.
Yeah. The thing is when it comes down to it, you pay what you get for it. And I recommend, if you are starting out, you have no experience with remote-controlled aircraft, you have no experience with, any kind of remote-controlled vehicle, whether it be ground or air. Then yes, go for a cheap practice thing. Get used to handling all that stuff. Let's see. What are the basic drone laws now for beginners? The basic drone laws are as is followed. Currently, this might change though. You do not need to register. You don't have to register with the FAA. You don't have to pay that $5 fee, put in all that information. But that might change because there's talk in the Congress and Senate to put in a new law. They're working on that right now. To fix that
I've been hearing that too.
On the other hand, you have to keep in mind where you're flying. Controlled airspace is all those issues with controlled airspace, flying under 400 feet, flying within 5 miles, contacting the airport if you're going to be flying within 5 miles of it. Those issues are still in play because those are different regulations that were already established for the most part beforehand. I think the contact the airport thing has been around, sort of more or less came into play after a bunch of the changes, but nonetheless, I recommend just doing that so this way you don't have people freaking out and all that stuff, and all you got false reports about you're causing problems with the aircraft that are coming in and landing. And keep in mind, if you are flying close to an airport, that you don't fly directly in the takeoff and landing path if it's in an uncontrolled airspace situation, like with the Palmer Airfield up here in Alaska. Is uncontrolled under 500 feet, which I explained and showed to News Now Alaska was the other week when we actually sat down and met up.
Yeah, I try to stay away from airports.
As is. If you want to just have the basic general rules of thumb where you don't have to deal with anything, stay 5 miles away from airports, and how should I put it? And just make sure you eyeball where the controlled airspace. Make sure you don't fly in restricted airspace like near military base because, what was it, J-Bear? They have restricted airspace around their base, and then they also have, the FAA has started rolling out a new type of controlled airspace around military fields. I touched lightly on that at the beginning of the year. I still need to sit down and go back and review that, but as is, it's hard to keep track of all the legal research that I do, just due to the fact, how much time I got to spend into it. I spent 3.5 hours reading case law this morning, 65 pages. Oh my God, that was intense.
Yeah, you got hundreds of hours probably in freaking reading case law, if not thousands.
Yeah, I'm pretty much halfway to a lawyer if you're just basing it off case law reading and research. But thank goodness a lot of that information is public and out there. Stay away from the White House.
That's a good thing.
As what Mad Cat said. Yes, stay away from the White House. In fact, Washington, D.C. is underneath a permanent temporary flight restriction. Yes, a permanent temporary flight restriction. One hell of an oxymoron. and that's 30 nautical miles out from, I think, the actual airport that's within Washington, D.C.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's quite the large area. But I mean, these
Stay
are
away from
just
my
like
house.
the basics. Basics. There's a lot more to it, and uh, how should I put it? It takes a little bit of time and studying. If you spend about 15 hours in total, you probably get all the basics. Jimmy Disabled
Yeah.
Prepper. When are you going to law school, lol? I'm working on it. At P&P News,
Yeah.
try flying a kite with a camera near the White House. Do you think that would work?
Huh.
How should I put it? I already have the answer in my head. I'm not going to state it right now. I think I stated it a couple times in the past.
It'll be a shocking video.
Yeah. But any future plans with flying drone and maybe looking at some interesting sites around the state?
Me or you?
You.
Oh man, yeah. I've got last one I did on the water on the river there. That was kind of interesting. With the, I was trying to get icebergs. You know, you lived up here. You see the icebergs when they break up coming down the river. I was trying to get some low drone shots of that, but it didn't really work out. But yeah, I want to try out Kenai River and just all kinds of stuff, man. I've got a lot of ideas this summer. Coming up this summer, I'm gonna have a lot of drone footage coming up. Definitely.
Well, that's going to be handy because I know people do love that, and there's a few people that deal with oops, that's the wrong link there. What was it? Trying to remember here. People do enjoy the like the panoramic stuff. I wanted to get out and do more droning of like the glaciers and stuff like that, but I just never had time. Was it last year to do that, and the year before that?
Yeah, that's one thing I plan to do this summer. All kinds of. I'm gonna have so much drone footage. I'm not gonna know what to do with it all. You know.
Well, I mean, put it out there. I mean, throw on some royalty-free music from Computech or TechnoAx or something like that, and there you go. Someone asked for links to what was it to the air charts and all that stuff. I just posted that. Those two links will give you the nautical charts for all the different types of airspace. Pick your poison and learn how to use them. And people are talking about.
That's really important. That right there is really important information. Very important.
Especially if you live in a built-up area where it can be sort of a pain in the butt. Like Anchorage, it's like, oh my god, a conglomerate of blobby lines that all mash together.
Yeah, I don't even want to fly in Anchorage because it's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's circles everywhere. It's like, oh, I can't fly here, I can't fly there. It's like, what's the point? You know.
Open eyes. Apparently, we got people talking about Taco Bell.
I see that.
Someone's commenting, Taco Bell is the closest at 16 miles. Yeah. It's people up here in Alaska. They might have to travel 500 miles just to get to the closest Taco Bell.
Yep.
What was it? I'm trying to think. Yeah, right now I think actually the Taco Bell in Wasilla is the busiest Taco Bell on the West Coast.
It is. I think they moved the one in Palmer.
Oh, did they move the one in Palmer? I haven't been in Palmer in over a year or so.
Yeah, it's not at the gas station no more. They moved it over by, I wanted to say Cars or Fred Meyer's. I think it's Cars.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice to know.
Yeah. And they moved to Fred Meyer's. Well, Fred Meyer's is where Cars used to be. Man, they just shuffle things around so much in Palmer.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they tore that down. I think I remember hearing rumblings that they purchased and they were planning on expanding the Fred Meyer's over there because they got so much business they couldn't keep up with proper stock, and they just we need to build a bigger store.
Yeah, it's funny. You go over there now, and you got the old Fred Meyer building, parking lot, and everything. It's like a ghost town where the old Fred Meyer's is. It's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of ghost town, look at the old Walmart place over there by, what was it, Parks Highway and Sewer Meridian, where Sears is at right now.
Yeah.
I heard they're finally shutting that one down. It's just like every single time you drive by there, you barely see anything parked there. It's like
Maybe 2 or 3 cars. Yeah, it's dead.
yeah. It's just amazing how some places they just end up dead after a while, and it's like no one's there.
I've actually been surprised it's still been open. At least been open this long.
Oh
You know?
yeah, I've been amazed by that too. I figured they would shut that store down years ago.
I'm surprised they haven't gone out of business.
Yeah. Hello, Desert Sentinel. Glad to hear you guys popping in. Matt Cat Alaska.
Desert Sentinel, what's up, man?
Yeah. Oh, let's see, Mad Cat Alaska. You ever see Sarah Palin? Have you ever seen Sarah Palin?
Me and my brother did her floors in her house, actually.
Ah, interesting. So we have some insider knowledge of the Palin residence.
Yeah,
Spill all the
kinda
juicy
funny.
details.
She's
No,
got a
I'm
really
joking.
nice house.
Huh?
She's actually got a really nice house.
Oh yeah, I would expect.
At
I
least she did. This was years ago, though. I mean,
yeah, I think
probably 8 years ago.
pretty sure they end up moving out of state, or they keep moving in and out of state. It's hard to keep track of where they're at half the time, which
I've
think
been
is
getting a lot of comments that her son's in jail at the Palmer jail.
No, he's actually been released on bond. In fact, I just heard about this on the news the other day. Yeah, apparently he got in trouble for punching his dad or something like that. So.
Yeah, I heard that.
And what's funny is
That's
I actually
hilarious.
shipped off with Sarah Palin's son in the military.
Really?
Yep,
Really? That's interesting.
me and him got on the same plane, but we had different bases to go to for our training.
Wow.
Yeah.
Small world, right?
Oh, definitely. Well, Alaska is a small world. Let's see, we just barely crest 1 million people up in the state, and we are 2/3 the size of the continental United States.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Gotta love it though.
So you get a mixture of like it's a small world, everybody knows each other, but everybody's spread apart, so you have to drive everywhere, which sucks, or you got to fly out there.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things up here is where you got to drive. You know, like Palmer for me is probably 50-mile round trip, maybe give or take. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the things that kind of sucks about it.
That's about I think it's a little bit longer for me from where I'm currently at right now, so it just depends.
Yeah, I
on
was gonna say for you it should be a little longer.
Let's see, Boots, you've been to all USA states. No, I have not been to all USA states. I have done I have been to a majority. I've been in a majority of the states. I can say that much because I did 11,000-mile road trip in 2012 around the continental United States. I did this giant-ass loop.
That would be fun.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, there was no time to stop and really stay and do much in any one given state because of the time constraints. But
that spoils it.
Oh, yeah. Well, but, I mean, we stopped and hung out at a few areas. We got into Mount Rushmore for free. That was entertaining. We literally sat there at the gate. There was no drop-down gate or anything like that. We sat there for 10 minutes waiting for someone to come up to the counter. No one showed up, so we just drove right in.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, they don't want our money, fine. We'll just go park and go wander around the park.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, interesting comments in about the whole Palin incident, looks like. Someone mentioning the gun and some other things. I don't know all the details, but yeah, there's probably more messy stuff with all that. I mean, and as is with any kind of domestic dispute, it's always a mess.
Yeah, especially up here. I don't know about the States, but man, they don't take too kindly to domestic violence up here.
Oh yeah, it's quite the stinger and all that stuff. No one really likes it. Bunny Boots, come to Yuma International Airports. Yes, well, I would love to do more airports. I would love to film the TSA at multiple airports. It's just, how should I put it? It's not cheap to do, especially when your plane tickets are running on an average of $100 or more, just for one direction. What was that?
I haven't flown in a while.
Huh? Oh, you haven't flown in a while?
Yeah, I haven't flown in a while. I haven't flown in probably 15 years.
Oh, you're gonna love this. it is more expensive to fly, do a round trip out of state and to come back in than it is to come from what is it? Going from downstate side, coming up, and then going back down. Oh, super chat.
I'm tied up in
Cool.
Desert Sentinel's basement. Help me.
Joshua's back. He just super chatted. I'm tied up in Desert Sentinel's basement. Help me. That is hilarious.
That's pretty good.
Mad Cat, Alaska. Any jobs up in Williston, North Dakota? I'm not sure what's the whole job situation in North Dakota, and I don't know if News Now Alaska knows anything about that.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah.
Mad Cat said.
I know the oil thing was.
Huh? Go ahead.
I know the oil thing was pretty big down there for a while.
Yeah. Well, how should I put it? It's something that I got to see with the oil industry when I worked in doing construction in the oil industry up in the North Slope over a decade ago is everything switching over to automation, and so they don't need the staff to maintain, to keep the stuff going, and so the operators and all that stuff, it's a reduced amount of labor, and all the jobs that come from developing an oil field is just in the construction and setup. After it's all built, they don't need them, and so you have a huge job boom for a short while, and then it just then all the jobs go away because the construction's done.
Yeah, computers, man. Technology.
Yeah, Desert Sentinel. I know One-Eyed Fox said he would not do TSA, but would rather do that than even get near a Scientology church. Yeah, those Scientologists, they're a little bit on the crazy side and extremely paranoid, but they have a justifiable reason for it because of all the shit they pull. Oh, did you know we have a Scientology church up here in Alaska?
Really?
Yes, we do. It's in an office building.
Dude, we should hit that up.
We might have to. It might be a little bit tricky on the logistics. We'd have to really brainstorm that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's some other fun comments in here. Let's see. Joshua H., you really need to stop accepting and eating that funny, smelly candy from Desert Sentinel. Mad Cat, Tom Cruise, Scientology wacko.
I love comments, man. You guys are freaking hilarious. I'm so serious.
That's part of the reason why I don't even bother censoring and all that stuff, because even the trolls will have some funny comments that pop in and out.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. Oh man. My throat's burning. The back of my nose still hurts, and my stomach's still twisting knots on me because of the mixture of head cold and stomach bug I got right now.
Oh man, that's not good.
Oh yeah, I'm just glad these sodas help. Drinking a soda sort of helps burn and loosen up the throat a little bit. Who would have knew a mixture of sugar and carbonated water would help with that?
Yeah, that's not good, man. You come up here and you get sick. Damn.
Oh man, it's throwing so much of a damper because I was thinking, okay, Wednesday and Thursday, I should have an opening to go hang out with you. We can go film some stuff and stir up some trouble, especially since you went and filmed the Trooper Station again today. I mean, I should have been able to help back you up on that, but I was sick, and man, as soon as I got done with that stream, I did a few adjustments on the settings and stuff like that for the video, and I crashed right out. I've been out for the entire day.
Yeah. It actually turned out pretty good. I mean, at least the first half, what I was actually going there for.
Yeah.
I was actually blown away that they had complaint forms out in the lobby. I really was not expecting that, you know. And for Cooper, Trooper Cooper, that's going to bug me forever. His name is hilarious. Anyways, Trooper Cooper, he was pretty good. I mean, we had a conversation, and everything was the conversation I was trying to get with the supervisor, Steen, but it turned out really good until I got back to my car, and that's when everything took a turn.
Yeah,
All in all, it wasn't that bad.
yeah. How should I put it? It seems to happen quite often. I mean, like with what was it? The courthouse in Eugene there earlier this year, where it was like, okay, it looks like everything's going pretty good, everything's doing all right, and
And then all of a
then
sudden,
it's like the second half, the last 10 minutes, they just completely do a 180 and screw it all up.
yeah, I agree. It's kind of how it felt today. you know.
Yeah, and you have a nice night, Bankai. I'll try to get with you, setting up time to talk with you, because we definitely need to look at what's going on with you and all that in that case, and get you some help.
Yeah,
It really
I'm kinda
sucks
curious.
what's going on with him. Huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that too.
Well, he was convicted, if I remember correctly, on creating a public disturbance with his filming.
That was a while back, wasn't it?
And that was the conviction just went through, I guess, this month or something like that, and that happened like 3 months ago. It was 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. A while back in like short-term memory standards, but when it comes to legal stuff, it was recent, very recent. Because how should I put it? It's just all this legal stuff. It just takes time to time the process. The legal system is always slow to turn out results and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's always changing too. There's always stuff being added to it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, just look at when I was going through the case law, and then compare the case law from 2012 to case law of this year there that I read through, and all the references that they make.
Yeah.
It's like they're constantly
Exactly.
referring to new cases that happened recently in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Bankai. Oh yeah, disturbing the public peace. That's the specific name, I guess, of the law itself. Yeah, he said he was arrested October 25th. So yeah, it was about 2 months ago.
Damn. It seems like longer than that.
It can, yeah. PNP, disturbing the peace for filming in public. Yeah, it's insane that how that happened. And of course, it's pretty obvious that the judge was very biased in that case, or maybe Bankai was just not able to represent himself well enough. I'm not exactly sure. As I said, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of factors that come into play. It's a bunch of moving parts when it comes to legal battles, and you're literally trying to move the right gears into place and try to make sure they all work at the same time in order to make things work in your favor. Desert Sentinel. I made a comment that Hemming said something about California, that it isn't probable cause enough to pull over if you don't have a plate. They have to get you for something else first. And he's asking if it's the same for Alaska. And I don't think.
That's a good question.
Yeah, we don't really have that knowledge on the top of our heads. I haven't even done major legal research in that specific issue myself.
I don't think it is, but I am going to check on that.
Carlson 2469. I would like to see you and David do another audit soon. If you're getting a little sick, Coldy's works good, or Jack D. Yeah. Yeah, I heard about the Jack Daniels trick and all that stuff. Unfortunately, hard liquor gets me really sick to my stomach, so where that doesn't really work. And Chef Justice was beat up and convicted for filming United States Postal Service. I heard about the conviction and beat up. I still need to dive more into that. There has been a lot of instances, and I just don't have enough background information on the cases to really give an opinion for or against the specifics on all those.
Yeah, Felipe was telling me about something that went through about 2 months ago on the post office about photography, about how it's legal and all this other stuff. But I'm actually waiting for him to get back to me on that.
Now let's see here. Eric Bandit, he's given me a link to a YouTube video here. Yeah, I know how the YouTube video linking system works. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and sort of plug this in here and see if I can get this pop up. Berserk Colorado cop assaults man holding his own business. Oh, assaults man minding his own business. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up into... Okay, there we go.
Interesting.
You're watching the live stream, right? Also at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a second here to do some window adjustments.
I got a pretty good delay, but it's all good. Doesn't bug me.
This side.
Sorry, am I suspect in a crime?
Turn away from me.
Am I a suspect in a crime, sir?
You are. You're on the restricted access highway. Turn away from me.
Yes, sir.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing is the matter with me. What's the matter with you?
I'm here to investigate why you're on this highway like this. Hey, look at me.
You tell me to turn around, sir.
Yes. You got two choices.
Yes.
You get off the highway, which is all the way down there, on that road down there.
Yeah.
Off of this grass hill.
This grass hill is controlled property?
Yes.
Who owns it?
Sir, I'm going to tell you one more time. You got two choices.
I'm allowed
Is
to
that
ask
your
a question.
video?
Okay, you're not. I'm in control.
I'm not allowed to
No,
ask
it's
a question.
not.
Give me your business
You
card.
can either get off this
Oh,
highway,
okay, never
Give me
mind.
your
or I
business
can
card.
take you to
You
jail.
do the
Which do you
same
prefer?
thing.
Well, you're required to identify yourself
Yes,
before...
you-
I'm a peaceful protester. You don't have to pepper spray
You
me.
want to leave the highway?
Okay, so I think I got an idea what's going on here. I'm taking a quick frame through. So I guess this guy was standing on the side of the highway protesting, and the cop is telling them he can't be standing on the side of the highway, which is not necessarily true. It might be in the case of like an interstate or something like that. And as is with interstates and highways, from what I understand, there is two sets of different laws that deal with those. So, yeah, that's quite interesting. It looks like, does he get arrested here?
I want you to try and criminalize me for trespassing. I want you to do it, give it a shot. I need your business card,
I'm
too.
gonna have to look that one up.
Identify yourselves! To the door! Fuck the...
Eric Bandit. I think I'm familiar with that name, and I'm trying to remember why did I subscribe to him. Oh, apparently he's liked our video too.
Oh, really?
Or our live stream here. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. He did a bare feet thing. Yeah. Denver cop gets owned.
I have not seen that one.
I think this is the guy. Yeah, I think this is the guy that walks around with the fuck the police protest signs and stuff. There's so many people. It's hard to keep track of everyone these days. So.
It is. Yes, it is really hard. When I first opened my channel, there was already people coming out, but now within the past several months, it's just been an explosion of new auditing channels. It's crazy. It's
actually,
kind of cool, but it's crazy.
Let's have a little bit of fun here. Let me see if I can get my... okay. I'm going to bring back on my live stream here. Not placeholder. Here we go. My subscription list of people I'm subscribed to. Some of these channels may be defunct or no longer do stuff, but yes. As I'm scrolling down, notice how much the scroll wheel, the scroll bar on the right is moving. These are all the channels that have done something with civil rights or has like a decent amount of content when I subscribe to them dealing with civil rights.
Yeah, it kind of looks like mine, man.
Oh yeah, and I'm constantly adding new. Huh?
Yeah, me too. That's funny. We got we're subscribed to almost the exact same. Oh, you got some in there that I don't have.
Oh, without a doubt. And I actually did an export 3 or 4 months ago of my entire subscription list because they had a YouTube had this setup where you can do an XML export of your subscriptions. But when they did a bunch of changes back in October, I think it was, September, October, I could no longer do the export. and which really sucks. I'm hoping they'll bring that feature back so I can export my subscription list at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I'm just scrolling through, you get an idea, and anybody that looks at the archive of this, they can sit down and go through and double check a few of these and see about adding them to their own subscription lists.
There's a lot of good ones.
Oh yeah, actually, Shark just did a thing about all their successes in the past like 2 years that they've had video at the end of the year. Oh yeah, and Tim Cass, he doesn't necessarily deal with civil rights, but he's often found in the protests and stuff like that, so he's covering civil rights to some extent. And so that's one of the reasons why I was subscribed to him on that aspect right there.
Huh.
Oh, and I got to go through and check and see if any of the other appeals courts, but if you ever have time to spare and you need something to listen to, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals streams their oral arguments.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see here. We got Darius Hurth of County of Los Angeles. What this one about specifically? From District Court Judgment, Hurth's actions brought pursuant of 42. Oh, this is a 1983 case right here, alleging his Fourth Amendment rights were violated when he was unlawfully detained, searched, and arrested for loitering. Dang it! I'm not doing any more case law review. No. Putting the X on that. I'll come back to that later.
Like, I'm going to save that for later.
we'll be here all night just listening to more case law.
Right?
Huh?
Yeah, that's funny. We'd be here all night long. We'd be here for a week.
Yeah, but yeah, as is.
Good info though.
Oh yeah, that was just quite the surprise just by random clicking. But yeah, this is how I learned about case law and the various legal arguments and all that stuff. I just tune in. I just try to make sure to tune into a lot of stuff. The most overturned circuit. Not quite. There's quite a few case laws that are still in play out of the Ninth Circuit. Yes, they do have quite a few that do get overturned, but nonetheless, it doesn't make them any less powerful. Especially when it impacts a large area of the West Coast, because it impacts the territories. It impacts the territories in the Pacific Ocean. It impacts the Hawaii, Alaska, Oregon, California, and Washington, and I think also, I can't remember if Nevada's covered or they just barely skipped out on it or something like that. There's some weird divide somewhere on the map there. Yeah, but as is, it's just, how should I put it? I do a lot of data mining when it comes, information gathering and data mining for all kinds of stuff, and it takes a lot of time when you're just gathering all that information and trying to process it all and trying to apply it to what you're doing or how it's gonna, or trying to figure out how certain things are gonna impact you.
Yep. A lot of research.
Well, I've been keeping you on the phone for an hour. I don't know if you want to try to hop off and deal with other stuff, or.
No, I'm good. I mean.
You're good.
I just ate some lasagna, man. I'm sitting here fat and sassy. I'm good to go.
Yeah, I guess I can go for a little bit longer. What do you guys think in the chat here? They want to screw us on the West Coast. Carlson 2469. That is hilarious. I love that comment.
Yeah, it is. We'll leave it to the chat, man. It's hilarious.
Let's see. There'll be 500 new channels this year easily. I wouldn't be surprised by that. That's what Joshua Hayes said.
That just goes to show you, that just goes to show you we're making an impact.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, especially with 3 new case laws this that were decided this year, one of them being an activist out of Texas that got started just 3 years ago. Huh?
Wasn't that Bosiah?
Yeah, the Potosi.
Yeah, that's crazy. As soon as you read that, I was like, what? Yeah, I actually pulled that up and saved it on the laptop. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, and he's had quite a few crazy incidences that happened in Texas. Check Johnny 50 channel out. What, you want me to check it out right now? I guess. Let's see here.
Johnny 50.
Let's see here. Johnny 50. What's going on? Okay, he's got a video he threw up 23 minutes ago.
Is that the security guard one?
Give me a second here. I'm gonna bring up my.
California Guardian popped one up with the security guard.
LAPD Hollywood Division people love us, sir. It's just the bad people that don't.
You filming?
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Are you filming?
I don't answer questions.
Oh, okay. You need a lawyer for that?
What's your name and badge number?
My name is Officer Habibi.
How do you spell that?
Habibi.
Thank you.
What's your name?
I didn't give it.
He's just sitting there filming these guys.
Not too bad. Hey, take it easy. Gentleman's waiting right here for, he's ready to bail out, but he's recording us as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, he does.
He's happy.
He looks happy.
Very good. Good. Hope he's enjoying filming us as much as I enjoy being here. He's serious, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't answer questions about his name or anything, but he asked me for my name and I gave him my name.
All right. Well, you can have my name all he wants.
I'm surprised. How are you, sir?
You guys wonder why the police have the perception that they have? You ever wonder that?
We have.
Yeah, I
people love
agree
us,
with
sir.
that.
People love us.
Really?
It's just the bad people don't.
The
People
assault
love
on
you, they
private
yourself, I don't
citizens.
So you don't think bad cops get good
Boost our
cops
cause.
killed?
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely.
Yeah, the silent citizen there, I mean, the blatant obvious lies that they pushed with that, and the fact that they couldn't get a solid case against him, and now they're just going after, I think, the ID, if I remember correctly, he stated in his last live stream. They're just trying to push the failure to ID charge, which is not valid. There's no legal reasoning behind
Yeah,
it.
because he did ID himself, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He refused to identify himself. He had no legal need to identify himself, especially when the laws were not in favor of the cops that were present. And it wasn't even the who arrested him was the federal cops, not the state police or the local cops.
Yeah, that was just a shit show. All that down there.
Yeah, this looks like an interesting thing. I'm not going to go sit here and watch everyone's videos. It's crossed my mind, but I don't need to be sitting here and violating everybody's copyright on their videos and all that stuff. Just me doing a quick snippet here and there, that falls within fair use.
Yeah, they're pretty strict about that.
Well, it's not they kind of thing. It's more of a mutual respect kind of thing. And I do have a strict enforcement of my own copyright, just because I am looking at getting involved in maybe a few copyright disputes myself personally.
Really?
Yeah, and
Wow.
here's Leonard French's thing I was talking about earlier, who was dealing with issues with YouTube and the demonetization, that Microsoft PUBG thing that I was talking about earlier. Yes, they are trying to charge him. I think he's still going. Silent Citizen's still going to court through that issue on all that. News now: Houston's got new video 37 minutes ago. California Guardian 2 hours ago. Mike Bluehair apparently has done a First Amendment audit. That's something rare for him to do.
Oh, yeah.
He's more of a cop watcher type. And I love his cop watching and all the antics that him and his guys get into sometimes. This is a really good comment by Desert Signal. A lot of us newer guys have been discussing why we got started in auditing, and kind of cautioning others if they want to get started that this is a kind of dangerous game. What is your take? Lasco, do you have an answer for that?
It is dangerous. It's if you watch these videos, like obviously all of us do, then you know how dangerous it is. So there's no point in even discussing that part. But getting into it, it's not as easy as a lot of people think. Just picking up a camera, yeah, you can pick up a camera, and that's actually how I got started. I just turned my phone on and recorded a cop at Walmart. But I actually got started with your video, Bunny Boots, with Marshall. Man, that video pissed me off, man. It really did. I was actually starting to do certain things, but that video right there set me off. I was like, yep, that's it. I've had enough. With them dragging you off the property, and all that. I think we talked about that when we sat down. Yeah, that was crazy. But
yeah,
it's dangerous.
Yeah, and as is, I'm trying to remember here a specific. Pause this here, but yeah, the thing is it is a very dangerous thing that we get involved in, and how we the thing is there's been attempts on a few on at least one of our guys' lives. News Now Houston, he talked about it, where he was a victim of a drive-by shooting. That was.
Yeah, I remember when he had to. Go into almost protective custody because of the threats and stuff he was getting.
Yeah, and as is, when it comes down to it, it's there isn't money to be made. There is maybe a little bit of fame. Yes, you get some fame and infamy, but there isn't money in this. I mean, at best, with the ad revenue, if you're lucky, you might pull enough to cover your basic bills at the end of the day. That's about it, and you have to get pretty big for that.
Yeah, it's that.
And I mean, as is, I'm pulling in my range for just ad revenue alone is anywhere between $30 a month. Well, anywhere between $30 and let's see here. I think my top has been about just under 200. And if you give me a second here, I think I hear something at the door wanting in. So let me see what's going on.
Yeah, you got me beat. I don't make nothing, which is, it's not why I do it. I do this for a lot of the reasons that others do. I just get sick and tired of it. I mean, a little history on me, News Now Alaska. I am originally from Portland, Oregon. I've seen a lot of the videos that are coming out of Portland, Oregon. And when I was younger, oh man, cops used to beat me up, mace me, throw us off our bikes, all kinds of stuff. So, when I got older and I saw a couple videos, I'm like, whoa, what's this? Makes me think, man, I thought it got better. No, it got worse. Portland is really bad. So that's just a little info on me.
Yeah, and as you can see, the cat cam has returned. We have the Zeke here who's apparently been bringing in mice.
Mice?
Oh, yeah.
That's
mice and shrews and all that stuff for everybody.
Yeah, I'd keep them around.
Yeah, and as is, you'll start caring about the money when you start having the legal fees and the cover the bills and all that stuff, or you start getting harassed out of where you're staying at, or even your workplace can become a target too. So paying the bills can become a big issue when doing this stuff. There's a lot of financial risk that's involved when you pick up the camera and do all this stuff. So it's something that you got to keep a lot of things in mind.
Yeah, my main concern when it comes to the finances is court costs, legal fees. And I think that's with all of us out here doing this is, that's our number one concern is court costs. lawyer fees, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's see, bail for me when I got arrested 3 years ago, that was $250. No, that was $500. And of course, the bail bondsman takes a cut of that. And if you don't have that money on hand to get, I mean, just do the bail bondsman and all that stuff, that could be an issue.
Yep.
Let's see. And speaking of getting involved, why don't I play a little bit of the video that got me involved here?
Hey, that's a good idea.
And I don't know how many people are familiar with Scott Olson, but he is the guy that's standing around in this video. Right there. And the police started getting antsy with tear gas here. You can see this camera angle is standing.
Oh, wow. I don't think I've seen this one. Oh. Is he the one with the flag?
And that is the shot.
Police say that they cleared the demonstrators using non-lethal force, but a tear gas canister can be lethal if it hits you in the face. It's hard to see from this video exactly how this demonstrator was wounded, but if you doubt that the police were deliberately aiming at the protesters,
wait for it.
Watch this policeman when a group of protesters attempt to come to the aid of the injured person.
Oh, man.
Watch that again.
Holy. That's when the pepper spray canister hit him in the head, huh?
Yeah, see, he was hit pretty much within under 50 feet with a tear gas canister in the head. It gave him permanent brain damage.
I've heard of this, but I have not seen the video. This is my first time seeing it.
Yeah, and the thing is, actually, just the other year, in the Portland protests, one of the photographers that Mike Bluehair was working with, covering the Portland May Day protests, if I remember correctly, had a less than lethal pellet grenade. The handle from that got blown off and lodged in his chin. And so those devices right there can cause injury just in flying apart. And they threw that in the middle of the crowd that was trying to help a person that was down.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean the ending stuff right there. But that Scott Olson is what got me going in the direction of police accountability. I just did not end up getting into police and government accountability. I just didn't end up in the full direction of it until about 2012, 2013.
So he's got permanent brain damage from that?
Yes. He ended up with a.
Damn.
Let me see here. Scott.
That is messed up.
Trying to remember because they went into a settlement. Oakland. Yeah, $4.5 million is the settlement that the LAPD did with him because of the permanent brain damage.
That doesn't no good. He's brain damaged. That's just.
Yeah.
You know, it's like adding insult to injury. That's messed up.
But yeah,
that's the whole lawsuit useless.
Yeah, that's what got me going in this direction with all this stuff. That's been that is pretty much what. And the funny part is that's the same. That happened just a few months after I got out of the military.
Really?
Yeah. I had nothing better to do. I was job hunting and all that stuff, and I'm just sitting here. I'm sort of standing by, and I was like, "Well, what's going on with over here?" Then I see that video footage, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's crazy.
What's the?
Yeah, I've seen this.
Just go ahead.
I was just going to say, I've seen this video a couple months ago about this old guy. He gets pulled over in a truck. He's probably 75, 80, and he gets out of the truck. Can't hear. You can tell he can't hear. He reaches in the back of the truck to grab his cane, and the officer shoots him like 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, wow, that's just one. I mean, there's so many videos out there of, you know, cops shooting innocent people. It's just, it literally blows my mind, you know.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and copy that email address real fast, Lewinsky, and I'll see about dropping you a line or something like that. Give me a second here. I don't have my thing up, so I'm just gonna put this. Come on. I'm operating off of a laptop that's limited on memory and all that stuff. I'm so used to working from my desktop. It sucks. Everything's so slow and lags.
Yeah, I actually went out, not yesterday, the day before that, I went out and bought a new laptop. I finally got a laptop.
So you're going to be able to start doing some better video edits and all that stuff. That'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. It's a pretty nice one, but yeah, I'm gonna have to fiddle with it a little bit, you know.
Yeah, well, as I stated, if you want to do some video editing, especially since you got that drone and all that stuff, HitFilm will probably be the best thing to work with because it's free and it does up to 4K videos with the free software. It gives you enough decent features to work with for just a beginner. And if you feel like you need
go
ahead.
What was the name of it again?
HitFilm.
HitFilm?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, I need to do a tutorial on the basics of how to use it properly and all that stuff for video editing. Because you can...
video editing is hard.
Huh?
Video editing is hard. It's not easy.
Oh, no, it's not. If you want to make a decent quality video that people are going to be able to sit down and pay attention to, it is not an easy task. You spend a lot of hours just on the editing itself. Like, let's say the tutorial video I did a couple weeks back for just setting up Streamlabs. That was probably that was almost 40 hours of getting the raw footage, and then another 20 hours just editing all together.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's not. The thing is and it's depending on the kind of video we're working on. The video editing can easily take 5 or 6 times longer than it is to gather the raw footage that you need for the video that you're working on, depending on the subject matter and what you're trying to go for.
Yeah, it's been my thing, man. It's an hour of recording for 6 hours of editing. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, hold on here. I got a retracted message, so I need to... oh, no, he deleted his own message. Okay, cool. Let's see. Real Jing is breaking up. Packaging is broke. Broke. I am sorry. I can't really do much about that. If the internet's taking a crap, pretty much the only option we have is just to wait it out for a few minutes. As is sometimes, it's probably getting to the point where, yeah, there's probably a bunch of people tuning in on the internet and it's just overloading local thing.
Yeah, we are in Alaska, so
yeah,
bear with us.
Yeah, the thing is we pay out the ass for the internet up here. It's not like down there in the lower 48 where, $60 you get decent speed. Up here, for your decent speed that you get down there in the lower 48, we're paying double, if not triple.
Triple. I was going to say probably triple. Yeah.
Let's see
and it's
here.
not even as good as they got down in the States.
Yeah, and then Jimmy, disabled prepper, that's comment I was trying to cover earlier. Cohen cops put a mark on their pepper spray for each use, like a badge of honor. I like to see the spray entered into evidence when they use it. That would be good in a use of force investigation. In fact, actually, what is interesting, um, just recently, the case that the video, the body footage video that came out with the guy that was shot in the hotel, the guy that did the shooting was fired from the police department because he etched some derogatory words or something like that in the into his gun that he was issued.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently, he definitely was a loose cannon, and it unfortunately, in order to get him out of the force, it required someone to die. And I don't like it when you have these bad officers that are able to squeak by this that long and then kill someone in such a bad manner of how they're conducting themselves. The guy that was standing next to him giving just contradictory orders, and the guy who's sitting there that's trigger happy and wanting to shoot someone, it looks like, just from the initial evidence that's been provided to me. I don't know the details enough to give a solid viewpoint on the entire case itself. But just with the initial data that's thrown at me, I can say this much: the cop definitely does not need to be on the force anymore. I do, in my initial opinion, after just seeing the body camera footage, I do think there needs to be some sort of manslaughter charge that should have been a conviction there. But as is with the legal system, it's and why I refer to it as the legal system, not the justice system, is the legal system is not always just. Things happen that everybody disagrees with, and we just have to accept it as it happens. And Volume Dragon Saldana in the house. Lol. How are you? What do you think? I'm doing okay. I'm suffering from some flu bugs that has been transferred to me by a bunch of little kids. But what else can you do? Okay. Real Genie. He wrote, "You're fucked" on the bottom of the magazine, so somewhere in the flat surface.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see military. Yeah, you might be able to get away with that to some extent. Well, nope. Now that I think about it, no, that you would actually end up with an Article 15 if you did something like that with the magazine. Even if it was your own personal magazine that you did it with, shoved into the gun, because we're how should I put it? There was a bunch of political correctness issues that we had to deal with because we're trying to win the hearts and minds of the locals. So, in comparison, sometimes the military is more restricted in their use of force when compared to the police force over here in the United States. Real Genie, that dude caused me to trigger when I saw that. And I do agree. I pretty much a couple times I just had to walk out of the room and take a break. I had to go for a walk, maybe get a slushie from the 7-Eleven around the corner or something like that. I just had to walk away from the computer before I broke either my computer, my TV screen by throwing a mouse through it or something along those lines.
Been there. That's funny.
Rocket Double, Boots. I go to sleep at 7 a.m. here in Germany. Can't wait for the next vid. Yes, hopefully I can get well and we can put out some, me and News Now Alaska can do some cooperative work before I have to return down to Oregon, and we'll have some good videos for you.
Yeah, we're going to put some good stuff out, guys. Stay tuned.
Not supposed to advertise anywhere on your person as a cop or as a soldier. Yeah, for the most part, there's a reason for uniformity to identify, and some people just don't agree with all that. Anyway, my throat is starting to really bug me and all that stuff. I think I should probably go ahead and end the stream and get some more rest. You got any final words for everybody?
No. Thanks for the support, guys. we really appreciate it. I think I can speak for all auditors when I say that. We really appreciate all the support. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys. Definitely.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's been nice talking with you, sitting here chatting. I know quite a few of you wanted to have some sort of bullshit stream session, but as is, I love sort of. I want to do more than just sit down and do nothing. I want to sit there and talk with the people and all that stuff. So I hope you guys get to learn a little bit more and know more about News in Alaska. Check out his YouTube channel. He's producing content every now and then, and he's slowly upping his game and upgrading his equipment and all that stuff. So
I'm learning. I'm still learning, guys.
Yeah.
Still learning.
All right, guys. I will see you later, and